那现在不了不得了，现在呢，我们说好像当年两个人老家伙，一两个月呢，一般可钱去20斤，就是你过那时候，你3年5年你吃不那么些，哎。
It's minus 25 degrees Celsius as I get out of the taxi and start walking up Qingshan village main street. Built in 1964 as a farming outpost in China's far northeastern province, the first settlers that braved the frozen winters had a very different life to the villagers of today. As I made my way up the long snow-covered street, Qingshan saw me struggling to operate my camera with frozen hands and invited me in for tea. Sitting with his wife, Guangzheng, in a 2-room house, he told me about how life in the village had changed over the past 30 years.
原先那在队上的时候，你不能干的，你也就是得更吃不上了。咱能干的还吃不饱，哎。现在呢，这个条件，我们说就是冷那个，都过去，都老不吃。现在冷这个，哎，你那个饭呢，吃着饭。 那个看着不好了，有味了，一倒。
Qingshan's geography has many disadvantages, but the mountain that rises behind, combined with 170 days of snow a year, makes it ideal for skiing. A potential the provincial government recognised 20 years ago, when they chose it as one of 100 locations to build new resorts as part of a drive to develop the countryside through tourism. The resort has slowly grown over the years and now attracts over 100,000 visitors a year from all over the world. As an agricultural province with 46 million square kilometres of spectacular natural resources and over 20 minority communities, the Heilongjiang government claim rural tourism has been a central part of their campaign to better the lives of the rural poor. As I left Qingshan's home back into the biting wind, he took me to the yard to show me a tractor he had bought last year. This makes a big difference to our lives, he told me as we shook hands and I felt the rough palm carved out by years of toil on the land. The tractor was clearly going to make life easier in the coming years. Before reaching the end of the street, I was once again invited into the home of a local resident, this time Handa Chung, a farmer who had turned his family home into a guest house for hikers and skiers. He shouted instructions at family members who brought me tea and wiped a table where we sat to talk about his thoughts on the village.
这一块滑雪场是省政府开发，逐渐的说老百姓一步步的过好了，属于开发区这块。哎，我这一片呢是原建84年建的这一片，这趟房呢是96年。
Returning to my hotel, I was distracted by a tourist bus that drew into a car park on the other side of the road. In my wanderings, I'd noticed farmers dressed in sheepskin shirts driving horse-driven sleighs as they left their homes in the morning. The tourists alighted and took turns to ride the sleighs and play on a small toboggan slope. The villagers looked at odds with the brightly dressed, loud-voiced, camera-snapping tourists, and my natural instinct was to feel revulsion at the imposition on this peaceful village. But in my conversations during the day, everyone I'd met seemed grateful for the benefits the ski slope had brought to them. For Qingshan, life had changed dramatically.
咱这不在东北，我回到山东，我问你姐，咱俩没意思高，我问你姐条裤子穿着，鞋个布鞋穿着，就那到那样的程度。
This is DJ Clark in Qingshan village, Heilongjiang, for China Daily.